Hey, Mike,
Terry, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good, good. I don't want to repeat that again. Good afternoon, Nina.
Hey, Mike, hi Terry.
Hey, Nina.
So, how much snow did you get, Nina?
How much snow?
Yeah,
Well, it drifted
it
a bit.
drifted. Okay.
So on our deck, most of the planters are almost submerged.
Mm.
Yeah. So fun times. Hey,
Is
Mark.
that,
Hey,
Hi,
good
Mark.
afternoon.
I was looking at the forecast, I don't know, a week ago where it said 38-foot waves, yada, 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 on Lake Michigan, which they may have had them, but on my cameras, I didn't see anything
Yeah,
abnormal
There's
in Washington
been there's
Harbor, at
been
least.
the odd boat. I think that they've actually had to cancel. Um, and most of the snow came last Monday, so over a week ago. But we then did get another 2 or 3 inches.
did you see the news report about Lake Erie?
No, what was
It
that?
pushed all the water to the eastern edge and left like hundreds of feet of shoreline, or I mean, I can't tell you how deep it is, but like there's no water, and um, it was quite the scene.
It looked like right before a tsunami was going
Yeah,
by.
exactly.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay.
Kathy,
Hi, guys.
how are you?
Hey, Kathy.
Hey,
Hi, Nina. Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy New Year to you.
Likewise.
So we're almost there, and I don't. We're Matt. Are you around? No. Okay. He's the host. But,
Well, how how do we get on if he's the host?
well, I'm sure we can. I just surprised. So Matt and Peter and Kayla and
Karen and Karen.
yeah. Okay, somebody needs a link. Who's 920-471? That must be Paul.
yeah.
I don't know who that is. Um, Shoot.
Hmm.
No, it's Kayla. Um, okay, let me just see if I can send it to her. Kayla. Kayla Mann.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Peter.
Peter.
And there's Matt. Okay.
Matt.
Sorry, I was busy reading.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Guys,
Hi,
hello?
Peter. Hi. Hi.
That link worked for me. I don't know. Kayla's having some trouble.
No,
She's
Kayla
on
just
now.
got in.
Oh, she did. Okay, good. All right. And as soon as I see her,
I'm here. Thanks, guys.
hi,
Hey.
how are you?
Good.
Right. Well, let's call.
Give me 2 seconds, Mike. Sorry,
All
I
right.
gotta open up the minutes. How you doing, Paul?
Good. Except I'm a bit sick.
You're fine.
The mask is to protect you from me.
I appreciate that, but you're fine. What the heck?
Is this for your notes?
This is for our purposes. Just give me 2 seconds. I apologize. Alrighty, I'm ready to go. Thank you.
All right. So let's call the meeting to order, and we'll get right to it. You want to just talk about the bylaw changes, or the NDA, or the conflict of interest? What would you like to do first?
Bylaws first.
Bylaws first. Okay. Um, do you want to read the first bylaw change?
Is that directed towards me or to someone in particular?
I figure you the one that you have the record of the bylaws.
I do.
And if you could read the first change, the first bylaw change.
Yep. It is. Change number 1. It would be added to the end of section 3.01. All directors, employees, and regular attendees of board meetings are required to sign the following documents after their elections but prior to their installations. New directors are not given the full privileges and responsibilities of directors until said documents are signed and returned to the TPAC organization. 1 is an NDA, 2 is a conflict of interest waiver, and 3 is a statement of board expectations.
Everyone read the NDA, the conflict of interest waiver, and the statement of board expectations?
Yes.
I have, yes.
Yep.
Not.
Not, and that is Paul?
And I haven't read it either. Did I receive it?
Oh, my
They-
camera's here.
They came before, I think.
Oh,
That was that was an email, I think, that was sent earlier. I don't know how early, how long ago.
The only one I have any concern about is the statement of responsibilities. Does somebody have that? They could just briefly read that one to me.
yeah, that would be great.
I do not have quick, easy access to that. Mike?
Mark, do you?
Let me see if I can find it. I don't have it pulled up.
Okay.
Uh,
Paul or Nina, did you read the NDA? Are you familiar with that?
I don't have any concerns with an NDA or conflict of interest.
And
However,
I
written.
signed mine and sent it and scanned
Right.
it and sent it
Yep.
to Matt. So that,
All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't receive it, but sometimes my emails go accidentally, they're shot to a different email account, so I might have just missed it. It's not supposed to do that, but it does. But yeah, I don't have a problem with the other ones either, except I agree with Paul. I'd love to see the board expectations.
It just means it's nothing big. It's just donating 10% of your income.
Oh, that's all?
And oh, by the way,
let's see.
Bruce asked me a number of years ago that I changed my will to make sure that TPAC is, given some money. I'm like, oh, you made an assumption I have a will.
I'm sure we've all already done that.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
I'm still looking for that. I'm sorry.
I have it called up. I could read it if
Oh, good.
if
Okay.
you'd like.
Yeah, I just found it. Go ahead, Terry.
So, Carolyn Wilson, Trueblood Performing Arts Center, expectations for board members. Each member of the TPAC Board of Directors brings a unique set of talents and assets to the organization. No one is expected to perform all the activities listed below, but are expected to work diligently to support the TPAC and fellow board members as best they can. Each member, in consultation with the board president, is asked each year to commit to a plan to allow them to utilize their talents in the best way to support the strategic and operational goals of TPAC. Next paragraph. Ours is a small board where every voice is valued and needed. Therefore, there are some expectations that apply to everyone. Specifically, we expect all board members to support TPAC by, first bullet point, attending a majority of board and committee meetings in person or remotely. Second, participating actively on at least one committee. Third, attending board orientation and training sessions as appropriate. Fourth, taking advantage of opportunities to learn about the key issues affecting TPAC's mission and programs. Fifth, acting with collegiality, respecting the voices of other board members. Six, not undermining or disparaging fellow board members or the TPAC in meetings or in public. 7, accepting the decisions reached by the board as a whole, whether or not the member voted in favor of a decision reached by the board. New paragraph. Board members can serve as important ambassadors for TPAC. All members can play an important role in amplifying our mission and activities through the following activities. 1, promoting TPAC's mission, activities, programs, and events to friends, colleagues, and neighbors. 2, assisting the nominating and governance committee by identifying and recommending potential candidates for the board. 3rd, serving as an advocate for TPAC to the community and constituent groups. 4, ensuring that the needs and concerns of the community and constituent groups are reflected in TPAC's programs. New paragraph. Board members are key to ensuring the financial health of TPAC. Given the diverse backgrounds of our members, there is no minimum financial commitment expected from board members. However, each member should consider how they can best support the constant need of your organization to attract the monetary support necessary to carry out the mission and programs of TPAC. Specific initiatives that a member should consider include: first, making a personal annual financial contribution to TPAC. Second, attending TPAC programs and events whenever you're on the island. Third, securing financial contributions from friends, colleagues, neighbors, and others who support the mission and programs of TPAC. And lastly, assisting TPAC in identifying and soliciting financial support from foundations, government agencies, academic institutions, corporations, and other organizations. And that's it.
Thank you.
The one thing that I should have said, and I did make a note on my copy, was we should include individuals in that final list, because there could be individuals, I mean, yes, friends, but there could also be high net worth individuals that people on the board might have a connection to. And that
I think it's covered because it covers
Okay.
friends, colleagues, neighbors, and others who support the mission and programs of TPAC. Others
Okay.
being other individuals.
Okay. But it just seems weird to separate out then the other organizations at the end, but that's fine.
The third bullet is really individuals, and the last bullet are organizations.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Thanks,
Any
Terry.
other discussion regarding the board expectations?
Not for me.
No.
So, how much of a change is this, or is this a completely new document that we're adding to be signed? But this is pretty consistent with other nonprofit work that I've done, this type of statement.
I don't believe we have one, and this is something I think the governance committee kind of found and changed.
I think this is, we haven't had one, but it's consistent with the things we've discussed over the years, and the statements that we looked at from other organizations are remarkably consistent on these things too. There's nothing in here that is out of the ordinary or unique to us.
So we haven't had a board expectation statement in the past.
Not clearly stated externally. I mean, what I remember is that we've expressed these ideas, but we've never laid them all out saying, here you go, this is the consensus of what we all think a good board member should be doing. And I think in terms of getting new members on the board, it's nice to be able to hand someone something that says, this is what being on the board means. This is how we operate. This is the corporate culture, if you will.
So for almost 30 years, I was on the board of the National Canal Museum / Delaware and Lehigh Heritage Corridor. They merged along the way. And, twice I signed statements of this ilk. I couldn't quote it verbatim, but it was very much this kind of thing. So I have no problem with this.
Yeah.
For all of you guys who I'm not familiar with, this is the first board I've been on. So when we talked previously about having an NDA,
that's a different matter, Kathy. So let's.
I thought you were finished with this.
No, we have to vote on this.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, did anybody have a problem with that? I don't know. We don't have to discuss it. I just wondered because
Do you want to vote on these separately?
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody want to pass a motion on the statement of board expectations?
I'll move that we accept the motion.
Second.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
All right, and no's, I don't see any, but okay. So why don't we jump up to the NDA?
Kathy, that was your question, right?
Yeah, you don't have to read it. I mean, I trust people's opinions. I was just wondering if when anybody was looking at this, is there anything that would look like we might disagree on it? Or again, I didn't receive all this, but
This is a pretty generic NDA.
okay. Yeah.
And we put in there a firewall, or so like if somebody was found something wrong and they didn't want to be, what's the right word I'm trying to say?
A whistleblower.
Whistleblower clause, that you wouldn't be in conflict with the NDA.
Okay.
And that makes it a lot more enforceable.
Okay.
And isn't anything that we intend to enforce, but it just kind of lays out what our expectations are.
Okay.
Any discussion about the NDA? Anybody want to pass it off?
I think I already expressed that. I think it might be overkill, but I was happy to go with everyone else, so I've signed it, and as I said.
All right, but now we're putting it into writing. So, what do you have a motion?
So
Do you want to read it
Move.
before we move to accept it?
Pardon me?
Somebody want to read it before we move to accept it?
It's pretty long.
Oh, it is?
I mean, if you want it read, I mean, I don't have a problem with it.
Can you, is it possible to just share it on a screen?
I don't have it right here handy I don't have it right now to share. I could look it up, but I don't know if I can put it on the screen and then hold it up.
Because previously in a meeting, we had talked about the actual written one that was there. Was that changed or rewritten or?
Yeah, it's almost this very same, except we
Okay.
added the whistleblower clause.
Okay. And what did the whistleblower clause say?
That if you need to go to an attorney or a government agency that oversees nonprofits like ours, you can share information with them. That's not going to be a problem.
If you'd like, I can read it.
How long
Just
is it, Terry?
What?
How long is?
It's just a paragraph. So,
Okay.
Yeah, just the
Oh, you
whistleblower.
mean the whistleblower part?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and just before I read it, we structured this agreement to be in accordance with Wisconsin law. It's a common document signed by other members of boards of nonprofits. So we tried to model it accordingly. The whistleblower exception. In addition, nothing in this agreement prohibits or restricts the receiving party from initiating communications with, responding to an inquiry from, providing testimony before, or otherwise participating in any investigation or proceeding conducted by a federal or state law enforcement agency regarding a possible violation of state or federal law, rule, or regulation, or a danger to public health or safety.
Thank you.
Fine with that.
All right, any more discussion? And I'll ask again, I'm sorry, for a motion to pass the NDA.
I'll move that we pass the NDA.
I'll
I'll
second it.
second.
Okay, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
I,
Okay, thank you. All right, and that passes. And now the conflict of interest waiver. Anybody have a copy of that?
I
Anybody
do.
You do?
It's
that a
long.
It's a long one? Okay. Anybody, have you guys read it? Are you familiar with it?
Yeah.
Did a while back.
All right.
I mean, it's pretty standard conflict of interest thing,
Right.
which is run of the mill. I
Yeah.
mean, I signed one every year when I was on another board in Chicago.
It's basically, you can't profit your knowledge at the TPAC for your individual benefit. Just keeping, arm's length.
And disclose any conflicts that you believe might exist so the board can waive them if needed.
Yep. All right, any discussion about the conflict of interest waiver? If not, well, I need a motion to pass.
All motion.
I'll second.
Second by Mark Nierenhausen. Any more discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye, please.
Aye.
Nay. No, not you, Peter. I think you were a late hand thing. Okay. All right. So now we're going to talk about proposed change number 2, section 3.05, board member removal. And then after that, the officer removal.
Mike, just a question of how you want to do this. Do you want each bylaw change to be approved one-on-one, or do you want them to be approved en masse?
I think you should do them one-on-one. Just they're not long, and this is not.
Okay, because we haven't we've accepted all the documents, but we haven't actually voted on the bylaw change.
Which bylaw change?
The adding to the section of
you mean proposed change 1?
Yeah, we didn't haven't actually voted on the actual change yet.
But we approved the 1, 2.
Yes, we approved all the documents, but we haven't actually approved the bylaw change.
All right. So, any discussion about proposed change number 1? Boy.
First, there should be a motion and a second.
I propose a motion that we accept proposed change number 1 to the bylaws.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion?
Hold on.
All
Let
right.
me.
Nina first. Is that Mark, or who was second?
Mark.
Terry, I think maybe.
Terry? Okay, sorry.
All right, now I'm caught up.
Okay. So if there's no more discussion, we've got a motion to accept proposed change number 1. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? All right, that passes.
I would like because it's a bylaw change, I would like a roll call.
A roll call.
Matt, there's only 5 or 6 of us.
Yeah.
It's a bylaw change, Peter.
You don't see them? They're waving?
It's pretty standard stuff. You just call our names and we say,
Yep. All right,
yay
go
or
ahead.
nay.
Do a roll call vote. And our secretary will commence with
that. Mike?
Yes.
Peter?
Yes.
Terry?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Nina?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kayla?
Yes.
And Paul?
Yep.
Did you do Peter?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
you
did.
All right. So is that officially over now?
Yep.
Okay. Proposed change number 2. Has everybody read that? Do you want me to read it to you? Or
Got it.
Kathy?
I can read it.
Okay.
That'd be
No, it's
good.
good.
Is that a yes you would like me to read it or no? I'm
That'd
sorry.
be good. Myself.
Okay. Section 3.05, board member removal. In accordance with Wisconsin State Statute 181.0808, a director can be removed from the corporation at any duly held meeting for any reason when it is deemed to be in the best interest of the corporation. The threshold of the board removal is 60% of the full board of the corporation. Directors subject to potential removal are not allowed to vote on their own removal or count towards or against the 60% threshold.
All right. Any discussion about this?
First motion and second.
I'm sorry. I need a motion.
I'll
Are
move.
you
I'll
want a
move that we
motion to
accept
pass
the.
it, or do you want a motion to discuss it?
You need to have a motion to pass in order to discuss.
Oh,
So Peter is first.
I'll move that we pass that motion.
And do we have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Okay, so now discussion.
is there
Any
any,
discuss-
is
Go
there
ahead.
any is there any threshold by which there has to be a certain number of board members on the board? You say you want 60%. What if there's only 6 members on the board?
And you need 60%.
It would still be 60%. There's no minimum.
4 people.
Yeah.
Okay.
My only issue is this was a late change by Terry as far as the writing is concerned, and that was the inclusion of board member and the actual title of the section. The whole section is titled board member responsibility, or is entitled board of directors, which means that this section already refers to that. So it's a redundancy. Thank you. A redundancy, which I'm fine with, but that would mean that I would feel that when it comes to when we edit the rest of the bylaws, all that redundancy needs to be stated in each section as far as language is concerned. So I just want us to be aware of that.
So what would, without the redundancy, what would it be called?
It would
Matt?
simply state removal.
Removal.
Just like every other section states in our bylaws. So section 3.04 states vacancies. So we would need to either strike the board member part of that, or when it comes to adding the whole, when we edit all of the bylaws, I would strongly recommend that we add board member to each section as well.
Well, wouldn't it be simpler if we just remove board member from this?
Yeah.
It would be, but
Okay, well, let's get a motion to do that, please.
then I so move.
And I'll second it.
All right, anybody want to discuss it? All those in favor, say aye.
I
All right, we're scratching that out. And, okay. We had discussion. Are we ready to vote? So all those in favor of proposed change number 2, say aye.
I
A roll call. He wants a roll call. Sorry.
Okay.
I will want a roll call, yes. Just let me catch up.
Matt, you can start writing ahead because we're all voting in favor.
Just cut and paste from
Mike.
the other one.
Mike,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Peter,
Yes.
myself, yes. Kathy,
Yes.
Nina,
Yes.
Kayla,
yes.
Paul.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, that passes. All right, proposed change. Are you ready? Mr. Secretary?
Yep. Officer removal. Any officer can be section 4.03, officer removal. Any officer can be removed from the office for any reason at any duly held meeting at the corporation when it is deemed to be in the best interest of the corporation. The threshold for it should be officer removal. It says board removal. I apologize. Is a majority, 50.1% of the full board of the corporation.
So what's the difference between officer removal and the board member, the removal that we just voted on?
60% versus a majority.
No. What's the,
That's one
but
part.
We
But we
decided to
just-
make it easier to get for an officer to be removed than for a board member. You would
You do
when
not
you're-
lose
Oh, I
your.
see. So officers of the board.
Yes,
they're
there
still
you go.
on the-
Then I
they're
understand.
still
I
on-
understand it completely.
yeah,
Don't
They're
worry.
still on the board. They're
Yes.
just not an officer. Okay.
Yes. I've
So
got it.
why is the threshold only a majority instead of the 60%, which is the same thing we have for the board members?
I think we looked at least my recollection, we looked at it as being an officer removal is a lesser
Okay.
action than a removal from the full board. So we viewed it as, full board removal, that's a big step, 60% threshold.
What's the
Whereas officer removal, the person is still on the board,
All right.
but relieved of their duties as the officer.
What sort of circumstances are we thinking of that someone would be removed as an officer but would still be on the board?
I can give you a real life example that we're going to be facing in a month, which is when we voted at our annual meeting for board membership, the board was absolutely under the belief, in my opinion, as stated to a board member in an email directly to me, that they were voting on a 6-month term. The reality is that we have to vote because of our bylaws for a full year term, with the acknowledgement that was stated by another officer that we would reapproach this in 6 months. So unless the board, or unless the officers, the executive committee, resign en masse, which is an option for us, then we would need to remove them from officers in order to vote for new officers.
Okay, so it's not necessarily saying that there's been an egregious action or anything like that. It's just
not necessarily. I mean, the reality is that that this is a kind of a unique case what we are facing in our next 2 meetings. More than likely, it would be more of an egregious case, but it's still an issue.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question as to what is the threshold in order to be elected a officer?
50% of quorum. So it's actually a higher threshold to be removed than it is to be installed.
Okay. So what's our current quorum?
6.
What it means though is that you could have half of the people, and that'd be 3 people that would get rid of an officer.
It would have to be
No.
4. It has to be a
4 out of
majority.
6. Yeah.
No. It says 50.1% of the full board. That requires 6. It
Correct.
requires we have a full board of 6, which would mean if we were to just barely meet quorum, which is 6, it would be everyone there would need to vote for it under our current board.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
Of 11.
Okay, so there's 11 people on the board?
There are currently 11 people on the board.
Okay. All right, that's clarified. Thank you.
All right. So we have a motion, and
We
now
don't technically have a motion. We did all of that discussion against the rules. Bad.
Oh. I'm glad you're keeping track. How about a motion?
I try.
A motion to accept change number 3.
All motion.
Okay, Terry.
I'll second.
And now,
Oh wait, no. I still have the same issue with the late change that Terry made here as well, which is the officer at the top.
Right. Well, why would that be different? Because
this section is under officers. Again, it's the same redundancy.
Okay, so just remove officer to be removal. Just be removal. Okay.
It'll just say removal from office?
No, it'll just say removal any officer. Section 4.3, removal any officer.
I get it.
And I will make the motion to change that.
I'll second it.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor? No, you want to do a roll call on this? Or
No, this one doesn't need one.
All right,
Yeah.
good.
No, it will. The other one will.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, now we need a motion for proposal change 3.
No, you don't. No, we already have the motion on the floor, Mike. All we
Okay,
need
well,
is you to
I'm
call the
confused.
question.
Okay, all right. So, any more discussion about the removal of an officer? If not, all those in favor. Oh, we're gonna go roll call. Sorry, take it.
Yeah.
Mike,
Yes.
Mark,
Yes.
Terry,
Yes.
Peter.
Yes.
I am a yes. Nina,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Kayla,
Yes.
Paul.
Yep.
Awesome.
Well, I really appreciate we got this. This has been a long time planning and discussing and changing, and I really appreciate that. I want to bring up that the executive board met last Friday, and one of the things we talked about is some recent developments with a fellow board member, Tom Pratt. We asked Julian to put him on a temporary, or excuse me, to be, I can't even think of how we put that. To further
Suspended.
note,
Suspension, I think.
from volunteering or working at TPAC. There hasn't been much change. I don't know how many people are following what's going on. But I just wanted to make, if just bring it up if anybody wants to discuss it. So,
I'd like to discuss it.
okay.
So, give me the camera. All right. So, from everything I know that I've heard, and Tom is ill, and Tom is not functioning as he would if he was not ill. And that if there is a reason to protect either personnel or property concerning the TPAC, then I would recommend that actions be taken to protect the integrity of the building and the supplies, but most importantly, the people, if there's any threat that is shown by Tom. As far as I know, nobody has been threatened by him. I know that from what I've heard, Matt, you can tell me, is that the radio has taken steps to protect passwords so that no potential nefarious acts can be done against that. And if there's need to change let's say the locks on the TPAC, well, that's been needed for 10 years anyways. So if there's a need because this person is ill and we can't trust what he might do, then we should act as a board to protect ourselves and our institution. But this is not the time to be removing someone who has supported this board, who has acted in unknown, uncountable hours to support this institution. Now is the time to support him and his family until he gets well. Once he is well, that may, if you want to talk about it, but while he's sick and he is not acting correctly, this is not the time to remove someone. Even suspend them if there is no reason to think that he might harm anyone or anything here.
So I have been thinking about that, and I guess my problem with that, I don't disagree with what you're saying. And if there was a way of removing him or temporarily removing him, but just at this point, he can vote on he's eligible to vote on anything that we have. And I think that is where the question is do we want Tom to be a voting board member?
Well, really the suspension, I thought, had to do with his
No, just with his employment and volunteers.
and volunteer work.
Yeah.
So
I don't think
we're not
caring about
removing him from the board here.
No, we're not.
And he was actually invited to this meeting.
Yes, he was.
I don't think caring about the person and our management responsibilities are mutually exclusive. I think some of the things that you described, like changing the locks and that, are prudent in any case. But I think to Mike's point, as a if he remained as a full employee, that also there's unanticipated consequences. There's unanticipated things aside from access to the building. And I mean, from my own experience, I have had circumstances and organizations where, physical illness, emotional issues where we've had to suspend people, and we've been able to be very supportive of them as individuals. But I think the thing that we can't lose sight of is that all of us have a responsibility to the organization, and we can't let the personal aspect of this get in the way of that responsibility, especially if caring about the person is not mutually exclusive from caring about the organization. I don't think being prudent and caring about the organization in any way indicates that we don't care about Tom as an individual or recognize his many contributions. I mean, that's my own personal feeling.
Sorry, Paul, you wanna?
Has anyone on the board been threatened by Tom?
No.
Has he done anything that has made someone feel that he is a
He's
risk?
implied that we're criminally negligent for different things.
And I'm not trying to harp on Tom, but he is running around in a rental car with a bunch of our documents in his back seat, which I don't, draw what you want out of that conclusion. But it's just like if you had someone in a similar situation and that was your lawyer, would you want that to be your lawyer? Do you want him making decisions for you right now? And I think that's the point that I just want to separate, that I don't think he's of sound mind to be on the board to make decisions.
I want to say a couple of things. While I am more inclined to feel that board removal is probably the next step, I want to be very clear that is not a step that I would support in this meeting right now.
Nobody's talking about board removal, Matt. We're talking about a suspension.
Yeah.
We are, Peter. But this is not what the point I wanted to do here is just bring it up. We don't have to vote on it today. I think it's something we need to think about, but I think there are some fine points about his, our support for him personally and his ability to act as a board member.
I would also like to finish what I was going to say, please.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I will also say, to your point directly, Paul, I do struggle feeling safe around him at this point. And I think that is a very real concern that I have, and it is not the only concern that has been voiced to me at least by one other individual.
Okay.
So I do think that is a real situation at this point. And finally, the reason why I was a little disorganized starting this meeting is that he did send an email this afternoon to the radio station's email address, and I was looking through. It was a shared Microsoft format, whatever their Microsoft form. It's 114 pages. It's largely written by AI, but it does include many of the personal documents or organizational documents that we gave him in accordance with the lawyer's requests. And it does accuse members of this organization of inappropriate financial acts. And I will send that link on to everyone. I was reading through it, which is why I was a little disorganized at the start of this meeting.
Okay.
It's not, in my opinion, as what has made this situation for me so challenging and so difficult is that I feel like he is accurately pointing out issues of mistakes that we have made as an organization non-maliciously. And he firmly believes that they were based in malicious actions. And for us to continue to ignore that is what he is implying, in my opinion, is dangerous.
Okay.
So
I would add too that in addition to the points that you made, Matt, and questions of personal safety, if someone is still an employee or a volunteer, we are liable for any of their actions. So if Tom were to call someone and incur some expenses, and we'd be on the hook for things because we couldn't claim there's no out. I mean, he's an employee. We let him remain as an employee, which means he has the authority to obligate us in certain cases. And I think we just have a responsibility to the organization, and it's good management to take steps to protect us.
Just to make sure we're on the same page, Mark, that we have suspended him.
Right. And I'm just saying that I think is my own feeling, my own opinion is that's
As an
a
employee,
reasonable step to take.
as an employee
Yeah.
and a volunteer. Now,
Right.
is there any possibility that we could suspend him as a board member indefinitely instead of removing him as a board member? Is that that's not an option in our bylaws?
it's
that correct?
it's not currently an option in our bylaws, but there's nothing to prevent us from making it an option in our bylaws if that's what
I would have
like
no
us to
problem
write.
with that myself. I'm anticipating Tom will recover from this. I hope he does for his sake and his family. And I wouldn't have a problem with that idea. But I think until he's of sound mind and I'm not a professional, obviously not a professional, but just, I think you know what I'm getting at, that he, can make board decisions. A good board.
If that is something that the board would like to take a look at, I will be more than happy to do some research and write up what that could theoretically look like for us to consider.
Anybody else feel that way?
So I actually feel, he has a long history of being a positive force for TPAC and for the radio station. And so something's really amiss with him, with this paranoia and these accusations. And, it's one thing to differ with the decision the board made and think we made a mistake. It's another thing to imply the kind of things he's been implying about our motives and our intentions and our conduct. So I'm all in favor of suspending him until such a time as he can recover from whatever he's dealing with. And if he doesn't have access to the building because we changed the locks and he's no longer an employee until such time as he recovers, I think that would satisfy me because I don't feel malicious about Tom Pratt. But on the other hand, I really don't want him to accuse me of malfeasance and take it to somebody where there's some kind of investigation. I'm in a business where I would just have to resign. I haven't done anything other than what I've reported at the board. But I can't fool around with this if he's going to accuse me of malfeasance as the treasurer.
My own sense is also, I'd be happy with if we came up with a bylaw amendment that allowed for suspension. I mean, we ran into something similar at Hennepin Trust. In this case, it was someone that had a physical issue and we didn't want to remove them. And the question, I thought the good question that one of the board members asked was, if this person's name was brought before us for board membership right now, would we vote them on the board? And if we would not elect them to the board, then why do we maintain them? And in our case, because it was a physical issue, we also went the suspension route first. Unfortunately, it turned out to be permanent, but it was that sense that let's do a 6-month suspension and then see where things land after that. But it was similar to our case where the needs of the individual were not necessarily incompatible with our responsibilities as individual board members for the operation of the organization.
Oh, I'm happy to do some research and write something up for us to consider.
Well, in releasing these documents that he has done supposedly, are we now dealing with somebody who has violated our non-disclosure agreement?
If he had
we don't really know.
signed it.
Yeah.
Is he purporting that he's doing some whistleblowing?
He would absolutely define it as whistleblowing actions,
Okay.
in my opinion.
In the end, and this is just hearsay, I think it's been passed around quite a bit that he's made numerous calls to the FBI. We don't have any idea what that was about, but I'm paranoid. So anyway, I think I would be in favor of the suspension.
Yeah, I would too.
Okay.
All right, then I will write up a draft for everybody to consider.
Okay. And we
So,
we have another meeting on Wednesday, the 21st. Is that right? Or did I get that one?
yes.
Okay.
And I was going to ask, is it 3:35 or 3:45? In the email,
45. It's 45, I believe.
it said 3:35 in the email. So,
My email or Matt's?
yours.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Kayla, is it 3:45 that is your
Yeah, 'cause we get out, school ends at 3:35. So by the time I get all kids out of here, I can't
yeah.
join until
Oh,
3:45.
Terry, I'm sorry. 3:45.
I figured it was a typo, but
I-
figured I better ask so I don't show up late.
I will try to get this done by Thursday, which would thus mean that we could theoretically vote on the amendment on the 21st. So
That'd be great.
Could I also recommend that this discussion be put into the minutes based on the idea that we have been informed that he has been undergoing some serious emotional difficulties that have included instances of extreme suspiciousness, if not paranoia. And given these things, we are concerned about his actions, and we're doing everything we can to support him as a person, but also are really concerned that he may take actions that are detrimental to this organization.
And
And I
in
think
that regard, Paul, especially for those on the island, would it be wise to report to Gary and gang, hey, just so you know, we've suspended Tom Pratt because
well, they're going to need to know what has happened specifically that leads to our concern. So if you want to open this up and say that he has made allegations, that's probably what you're going to have to do in order for them to really take this message seriously. And I'm all right with that because I think this idea that he has been paranoid and has made statements that has made Matt uncomfortable and is sending messages to the radio station that indicate that he's not thinking straight, that it's important for the police to know. It's again, this whole idea that you need to document that we have had this concern and that we're taking steps to make sure that we support him and also protect this institution, but that we're also trying to protect the people, not just of this institution, but of the community.
So
Who was just speaking?
that was Paul.
Well,
Oh, thank you, Paul.
It's me.
So I have been struggling with this reporting aspect for a while because that also it's impossible to ignore, and Nina and Kayla can relate to this the best. The unintended consequences of such a report. Gary is the head of the EMTs. It absolutely would go on his EMT record, and I view that as an escalation on our part, and I've been trying desperately hard for us not to escalate on our side. And so I think before any of that action needs to be, were to seriously be considered, we need to have Kevin in the room, his brother-in-law, and really have a discussion about what Kevin is feeling is necessary and what Kevin is not feeling is necessary. He is the one that is closest to this, that has direct ties to us. So I in a normal world, Paul, I 100% agree with you. That to me would be the next step. Our community is so small that I get very concerned about the unintended consequences.
Okay, and I certainly second that, but I'm talking about that if he came up to the island tomorrow, he could hypothetically go on an EMT
yes,
call.
he could. He absolutely could, and I have struggled
I'll
with
step in here real quick, guys, and say that he can't do that.
Okay.
They've
not?
already met separate to handle it on their end. They are aware, and they're handling it separate. So if that's a fear,
Okay.
that's not happening. And along those lines, because Gary is already aware of what's happened, I don't think there would be any, obviously it would still be a note of another concern of a threat going elsewhere. It certainly would still be marked. But as a whole, they are aware of already the calls and things like that were made and the threats that were represented. The EMT is already, like Gary is already aware of that.
Thanks so much, Gail. I
Thank you,
appreciate that.
Kayla.
Yeah.
And I just want to put a word in about Kevin. I've spoken to Kevin a few times, and today he indicated to me that he's kind of, I don't know how to put it, but he doesn't like being responsible for what's going, I mean, associated with what's going on and asked about what's going on. And he's trying to give Liz some space and let her tell him or tell others what she wants to share. And he doesn't really want to share anymore. He certainly has, but I think he's feeling, he has second thoughts about it. So I just want you to be sensitive to that thought.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, I can tell you also that I have talked with Kevin, and I've told him specifically that this is not about us trying to get information out of him about Tom or to put him in a difficult position. It is to tell him that we want to try to support him and his sister-in-law to deal with this issue, and that if there's anything that he feels concerned about, he can certainly share it if he wants. But I'm not trying to get information out of him other than that if somebody's in danger.
Yeah, I think he's more than willing if he thinks there's some danger. And I've asked him if you know that Tom is heading to the island, I would like to know he's coming to the island so that we were aware. But but I think he just doesn't want to be like, he just feels like he's out in the community. People are like, hey, what's going on? And he doesn't really want to talk about it anymore. So,
well, who can blame him?
It's a sticky issue.
Very.
But I do think until he recovers, he needs to be suspended from the board.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm sorry we ended on this note, but it had to be done. Anything else you want to talk about? I do know that Julian has reached out to a lock company in Green Bay, and he's waiting for more information and a quote. But it can't go fast enough. That's all I have to report.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody want to?
Well, is there any what can Tom potentially do on his own? I can't think of anything at this point. I mean, what could he couldn't buy anything, he couldn't sell anything. What could he, I mean, obviously he could take action with his own person, but is there anything he could do in TPAC's name?
Yeah, I mean, he has access.
Yep.
He has access to our YouTube TV account. Like that, I mean, that's why the radio station chose to not do anything as far as his committee membership, but did choose to actively safeguard our digital presence.
Okay.
So he has.
So he can't do that anymore. on YouTube.
On the radio station. He still has the TPAC YouTube access. He has all of that digital access that he had before.
Is there anything
Google Workspace accounts and stuff
Yeah,
like that?
all that stuff. Now, some of that is limited because he's still a board member, so that there's still limitation to that as
Okay.
far as what we can and cannot do. But
I'm asking if there's anything else that we can or need to do in order to safeguard the radio or the TPAC from his actions.
I think we
If
need
we
to.
can't suspend him formally until we get a new.
I think we would need to verify with Kevin that he can do this, but the YouTube TV account, or the YouTube account in particular, in my opinion, he definitely still has access to.
Okay. Then
No.
somebody needs to monitor that to see if he's doing anything with
Right.
it.
So he does have a computer now?
He sent me an email. I mean,
Okay.
he sent the radio station, not me, he sent the radio station email address an email. He's got some sort of access.
All right, because I thought he had ditched the phone, the car, and his computer.
Yeah, it included a new phone number and a new email address.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
Maybe he's doing it at his parents' house. Oh, okay.
So, and like I said, I will send the link on to everyone, and if you choose to peruse the 114-page document, you can.
Right.
I
Well-
don't have time. I'm too busy. I'm too busy.
I'm just saying.
Okay. Do we need to have an adjournment? A motion to motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor, hang up.
Hi.
You want a roll
Thank
call?
you. Thanks, everybody. This wasn't a lot of fun, but something had to be done.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Paul, would you send me the language you